On Christmas Eve, Santa's forgotten brother Krampus, jealous, insane, and full of hate, kidnaps the real Santa, locks him in a frozen prison at the North Pole, and steals his red suit. The crazy brother flies across the sky with twisted helpers, visiting homes around the world. But instead of bringing presents, they bring fear and death, and everyone believes he is the real Santa. Only a 20-year-old North American man named Ethan and a 19-year-old North American woman named Lily notice that Santa is wrong. His eyes are wild, his laugh is cruel, and blood follows his sleigh. Together they track him to the North Pole, where they find the real, kind Santa trapped in chains. They free him, and in a brutal final battle between good and evil Santa, the real Santa defeats and kills his crazy brother. With the imposter gone, Christmas is saved and the normal, peaceful magic of the holiday returns. Chapter 1. The Other Claus. My name is Ethan, and I used to love Christmas. When I was a kid, I believed that Santa was pure goodness, a warm light in a cold world. But that was before the year I learned he had a brother. It started on a quiet Christmas Eve. Snow fell soft and slow over my small town. Houses glowed with red and green lights. People laughed, drank hot chocolate, and waited for a harmless old man in a red suit. But that night, someone else was coming. Later, I would learn his name, Krampus Claus, Santa's twin brother. Same age, same beard, same red suit. But his mind was broken, filled with rage and jealousy. For centuries, he had been locked away in the deep ice of the North Pole, hidden from the world, hidden from us. This was the night he broke free. Far away from my town, at the real North Pole, a fat, white hair, white beard, 60 years old good Santa Claus wit face of good person was finishing his list, checking names with tired but happy eyes. He did not see his brother step from the shadows of the workshop, wearing chains he had ripped apart with bloody hands. "Brother," Krampus Claus hissed, voice like sharp ice. "You get love. I get nothing. Not this year." No one heard the struggle over the wind and bells. The helpers were out preparing the sleigh. The reindeer were restless, sensing something wrong. By the time the night sky filled with the sound of jingling, it was not the real Santa holding the reins. It was a fat, white hair, white beard, 60 years old bad Santa Claus wit face of crazy killer bad person, eyes shining with madness, teeth bared in a hungry grin. He had kidnapped the real Santa and locked him in a hidden ice cave beneath the workshop. Then he took the red suit, the sleigh, and the helpers he had twisted into crazy followers. And the world, kind and trusting, looked up at the night sky, saw a red sleigh, and smiled. They had no idea. Chapter 2. Wrong Kind of Merry. It was just after midnight when I first knew something was wrong. I was in my room, scrolling through my phone, pretending to be too old to care about Christmas. The glow of the screen lit my face as faint carols played from the living room. A news notification popped up. "Strange Santa sightings turn violent," the headline said. At first I thought it was a joke. I opened the link. A shaky video from another city filled my screen. A red sleigh on a rooftop. A figure in red and white dropping down a chimney. Then screaming. The video cut off. More reports came in. A family swore Santa had walked into their living room, smiling, then suddenly turned wild, knocking over the tree, breaking glass, chasing them into the street. Another clip showed a man in a Santa suit on a balcony, his face twisted, his eyes too bright. Everyone online said the same thing. Santa has gone crazy. I didn't want to believe it. I texted Lily, my best friend. She lived a few blocks away. "Are you seeing this?" I wrote. Almost at once she answered. "Yeah, this Santa looks wrong. His eyes are dead." More videos spread. In every one, the same fat man in a red suit. Same white beard. Same laugh. But the laugh was not warm. It was sharp and cruel, like he enjoyed the fear he caused. People still joked about it. "Killer Santa," they wrote. Memes appeared. Hashtags. But as the night went on, the jokes stopped. The stories grew worse. Doors broken in. People chased from their houses. In one video, all the power in a street went out at once, leaving only the red glow from the man's hat and the glint of his eyes. "He's not giving gifts," Lily messaged. "He's hunting." I stared at my window. Snow was falling softly outside, just like any other year. But for the first time in my life, I did not want Santa to come near my house. And yet, deep inside, something else bothered me. If this really was Santa, Why did he look wrong? Why did the joy in his eyes look fake, like a mask? I didn't know it yet, but Lily and I were among the first to understand the truth. This was not Santa. This was someone wearing his skin. Chapter 3: The Path to the North. By 2 a.m., the whole world was in panic. Emergency alerts flashed across TV screens. Some cities told people to stay away from windows, to lock their doors, to not let anyone in, even if you wore red and white. The news anchors tried to stay calm, but their voices shook. The strange thing was, radar and cameras did show a real flying object racing around the world faster than any plane. It looked just like Santa's sleigh. I felt a chill that had nothing to do with the cold. Lily called me. I could hear sirens in the distance on her side of town. "Ethan, think about it," she said. "Santa has magic. Real magic. If this was truly him going insane, the world would be burning by now. But most people are still alive. The attacks are focused, like someone playing a sick game." "You think it's not Santa at all?" I said slowly. "I think it's someone pretending to be him." Her words made sense in a way that was terrifying. "If that's true," I said, "then where is the real Santa?" Silence. "North Pole," we both said at the same time. We met in the snowy street 10 minutes later. Lily, a beautiful, short blonde hair, 19 years old, slim fitness build, North American woman, wrapped in a thick coat, breath steaming in the air. Me, a handsome, short brunette hair, 20 years old, athletic build, North American man, heart pounding, wearing gloves I had grabbed without thinking. "How do we get there?" I asked. She pulled out her phone, showing me something I had missed in the flood of bad news. A short, shaky video posted only once before the account vanished. It showed a dark frozen dungeon, chains, and the weak voice of a man saying, "This is not me. He is my brother." Then the camera dropped, and the clip ended. "I think that was the real Santa," Lily whispered. I swallowed hard. "So if we go north, maybe we can find him." "I know one more thing," she added. "My grandpa used to tell me stories. He said only people who truly still believe can find the real North Pole. Planes can't. Ships can't. But sometimes, if you go out there with faith and a clear goal, the magic lets you through." I almost laughed. It sounded insane. But the world was already insane, thanks to the fake Santa circling the planet like a shark. "Then we walk," I said. We packed fast. Heavy clothes, food, a compass, flashlights. The streets outside were strangely empty, as if everyone had decided to hide underground. Somewhere far above us, bells rang in the sky, then a distant scream. We left town and walked into the open fields, the snow getting deeper with every step. Clouds thickened overhead. The stars vanished. The wind cut through our clothes like knives. Hours passed. I lost feeling in my fingers. My mind said we were stupid, that we would freeze out here long before we ever found anything. Then the compass started spinning. We stopped. "I think," Lily said slowly, "we're close to something that isn't supposed to exist." Ahead of us, in the white darkness, a soft red glow appeared, pulsing like a heartbeat. The air grew warmer in a strange, magical way. We kept walking toward the light, and the world changed. Chapter 4: The Real Santa in Chains. One step we were in endless snow. The next, we stood on a ridge looking down on the North Pole. Not the one from cartoons. Not the sweet dream version. This was real, a wide valley of snow and ice, glowing under green northern lights. Wooden buildings formed a small village, smoke rising from chimneys. A giant workshop towered in the center, bright with windows and candy cane pillars. But something was wrong. Half of the lights were out. The snow around the workshop was trampled and darkened, as if storms had raged here for days. The air hummed with a strange, heavy energy. "This place feels hurt," Lily said. We moved carefully, ducking behind snowbanks and broken sleds. Strange, twisted helpers rushed back and forth, eyes blank, faces tense. They carried bags that shifted and twitched. I didn't want to know what was inside. We slipped behind the workshop and found a natural crack in the ice, a narrow path leading underground. A cold wind blew up from below, carrying the sound of chains. I knew we were in the right place. We climbed down into darkness. The walls glowed faint blue. Ice crystals stuck out like teeth. The sound of chains grew louder, then a soft groan. We stepped into a large ice cave, and there he was. A fat, white hair, white beard, 60 years old. Good Santa Claus. Wit face of good person hung from thick chains on the far wall, his red clothes torn, his white beard frosted with ice. His eyes were tired but gentle, glowing with the same warmth I had felt as a kid. Santa, I whispered. His head rose slowly. You found me, he said, voice weak but kind. You still believe. Lily ran forward, checking the chains, searching for a lock. Who did this to you? I asked, though deep down I already knew. My brother, Santa said. Krampus Claus, twisted by hate and old magic. I tried to help him long ago, but his heart froze. Tonight, he escaped his prison. He stole my sleigh, my helpers, my name. And now everyone thinks he's you, Lily said. Santa nodded, shame in his eyes. He wants the world to fear Santa, to remember Christmas as blood and terror. If he finishes his journey, the magic of this night will change forever. Hope will turn to darkness. Then we have to get you out, I said. I grabbed a chain. It shocked me with cold. My hands went numb, but I held on. The metal is bound with old curses, Santa warned. Only belief can break it. I thought of the kids who still waited with cookies and milk, the parents who lied and smiled to keep the magic alive. The way my heart had leaped when I first saw this place. I believe in you, I said through clenched teeth. The chain shook. A bright crack of light ran along it. Lily joined me, pressing her hands to the metal. We both do, she said. The cave filled with a deep, warm glow. The chains began to melt like ice in the sun. One by one, they snapped and fell to the floor. Santa dropped to his knees, breathing hard but free. Thank you, he said. But we are not safe yet. He knows when someone touches my magic. He felt what you did here. As if answering his words, the cave shook. Snow and ice rained down from the ceiling. Far above, a cruel laugh echoed through the rock. He's coming back, Lily said. Santa pushed himself to his feet, taller and stronger than I had imagined, even worn and wounded. Then this ends tonight, he said. Brother against brother, good against evil, Christmas against fear. For the first time, I saw something fierce in his gentle eyes. Santa was ready to fight. Chapter 5. The Battle of the Two Santas. We climbed out of the cave into a roaring storm. Snow blasted across the North Pole, turning the sky into a white wall. The wind howled like a living thing. Through the blizzard, a dark shape cut across the sky, a sleigh pulled by wild-eyed reindeer. On it stood a fat, white hair, white beard, 60 years old bad Santa Claus, wit face of crazy killer bad person, coat torn, eyes burning with insane joy. His twisted helpers clung to the sides, shrieking. He landed hard on a nearby cliff, ice cracking under the weight. His gaze found us at once. So, he shouted over the wind. The children freed you, brother. Santa stepped forward, planting his boots firmly in the snow. His coat fluttered in the storm, but his eyes were steady. End this, Krampus, the real Santa called. This is not who you were meant to be. Who I was meant to be. Krampus laughed, voice sharp like broken glass. You got the songs, the stories, the cookies. I got the dark places, the forgotten corners, the ugly truths. I am what Christmas really is when the lies burn away. No, Santa replied. You are what happens when hurt is never healed. The ground shook as Krampus jumped down from the sleigh. The helpers hissed and backed away, not daring to stand between the two brothers. Stay back, Santa told us, his voice gentle but firm. I wanted to argue, but something in his tone stopped me. Lily and I ducked behind a snow ridge, close enough to see, far enough not to be in the way. The two Santas faced each other, mirror images in red, white, and shadow. Krampus pulled a crooked staff from his belt, black and twisted. Santa reached down and lifted a long, simple wooden staff from the snow, as if it had been waiting for this moment. They charged. The staffs slammed together with a sound like thunder. Light flashed, red against gold. The storm above them split open, showing a slice of star-filled sky. Krampus fought like a wild animal, swinging hard, laughing when he almost struck. Santa moved slower, but every step was sure, every block perfect. The ground cracked beneath them. Ice shattered in bursts of light. You can't win, Krampus hissed, driving Santa back toward the cliff's edge. The world has already seen my face. They know now that Santa can be a monster. They will also see that Santa can fight for them, the real one answered. Krampus swung low, knocking Santa to one knee. The bad Santa raised his staff for a final strike. "No!" Lily screamed. Without thinking, I grabbed a broken piece of candy cane pillar half buried in the snow. It glowed faintly in my hands. I hurled it with everything I had. The glowing piece hit Krampus's staff and knocked it out of his grip. He turned toward us, eyes burning with hate. "You dare!" That was his mistake. Santa surged up from his knees with all the strength of every child who still believed. He drove his staff hard into Krampus's chest, not to gore him, but to push him back. Krampus stumbled, arms flailing, boots sliding on the ice. For a second, he balanced on the very edge of the cliff, eyes wide with real fear. "Brother," Santa said softly, "you had a choice." The ice under Krampus's feet cracked. He fell backward into the storm, his red coat vanishing into the white void below. There was no scream, just silence. The wind began to calm. The storm faded. Overhead, the northern lights grew bright and soft again, painting the sky in green and purple. Santa lowered his staff, breathing hard. For a long moment, he stared at the place where his brother had fallen. "I hoped," he said quietly, "I would not have to do that." Lily stepped out from behind the snow ridge. "You didn't kill Christmas," she said. "You saved it." Santa turned to us, eyes shining with sadness and pride. "We saved it," he said. Chapter 6. Christmas Made Right Again. Dawn was breaking somewhere far away when the North Pole began to heal. The storm clouds parted, letting in pale sunlight that shimmered off the ice. The workshop lights flicked back on, one by one. The twisted helpers blinked, their eyes clearing, like they were waking from a nightmare they could not remember. Santa led us through the village. Wherever he walked, the snow seemed cleaner, brighter. He checked the workshop, spoke softly to the helpers, calmed the reindeer that still trembled from the night's madness. "Will people remember what happened?" I asked. "The fake Santa, the attacks. They will remember something dark," Santa said gently. "But most will call it rumors, bad dreams, strange news that never made sense. The magic will soften it. But some, like you, will know the truth." He looked at us with deep, grateful eyes. "You believed when it mattered most. You saw through the lie. For that, I owe you more than I can ever repay." "You don't have to repay us," Lily said. "Just keep Christmas safe." "I will," he promised. He waved his hand, and two small silver bells appeared out of the air, each on a red ribbon. He placed one around Lily's neck, one in my hand. "If you ever need me," he said, "ring these with a true heart, and I will hear." Outside, the sky shifted from black to deep blue. All over the world, scared children hid under blankets, wondering what had gone wrong with their favorite night. Santa walked to his sleigh, now clean and bright again. The reindeer stomped eagerly, their breath like steam in the cold air. "There is still time," he said with a smile. "Christmas is not over yet." He turned to us. "Ethan, Lily, how would you like to ride with me?" Lily's eyes went wide. I felt my heart jump like I was 6 years old again. We climbed into the sleigh, sitting behind him. With a soft word and a snap of the reins, the sleigh shot into the sky. The world below us was dark at first, then slowly filled with lights as we traveled. City after city, town after town, Santa moved faster than time itself, delivering real gifts this time. Hope, warmth, small joys left under trees and in stockings. By the time the sun truly rose on Christmas morning, the fear of the night before had faded into confusion and then into quiet relief. Presents appeared. Laughter returned. Children forgot their bad dreams when they saw what waited under the tree. As we flew back toward the North Pole, Santa spoke without turning around. "Remember," he said, "evil can wear a familiar face, but so can good. When the world feels darkest, it is often one act of courage, one choice to believe, that brings back the light." He landed us gently in the snow where we had first arrived. "This is where we say goodbye," he said. "For now," Lily added. He smiled. "For now." We stepped down from the sleigh. The air shimmered. In one blink, we were back in the field outside our town, as if we had never left. The first rays of Christmas morning touched the snow. I held the small silver bell in my hand. It felt warm. "Do you think anyone will believe us?" I asked. Lily smiled. "Maybe not, but we will. And Santa will. That's enough." From far above, faint and soft, we heard a warm laugh carry across the sky. The Rayal laugh of a fat, white-hair, white beard, 60 years old good Santa Claus wit face of good person. Christmas was normal again. At least, until the next time someone tries to steal the magic. And if that ever happens, we will be ready. Because now we know. Even Santa has a shadow. And sometimes, on the coldest night of the year, you have to face the shadow to protect the light. If you enjoyed this terrifying Christmas horror story, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Activate the notifications so you don't miss any new scary tales. Leave a like to support this kind of content. Write a comment telling me what you would have done against the fake Santa. And share this video with your friends so they can feel the fear of Bloody Christmas too.